You wrote for comedians. You wrote Rickey Smiley, The Prank Phone Calls, Nick Cannon. You worked with Katt. When you write a joke for another comedian, how do you, because I remember asking, I was talking to somebody and I was like, I think it was Snoop. And I said, Hove wrote a song, Still Dre Day.
Yeah.
He wrote that song for Dr. Dre. But you gotta write the song knowing it's for him, but it's coming from through your creativity.
Yeah.
When you write a joke, I mean, you gotta write the joke like, this joke's for Ricky, or this joke's for Katt, or this joke's for Nick Cannon. This joke ain't for Deon.
Right.
How do you separate yourself?
So the majority of people that I've written for, Conan O'Brien, all these guys, I wrote for Conan for like 9 years, 8 years. When you're writing for these people are already characters. Basically, you really don't even have to write a joke for them. You just have to pay attention to them because they're not paying attention to themselves.
Right.
So what I like to do, I like to pay attention to them and tell them what they just said. And it's so wild, and then write it in a way that they can say it where it's them. Because the more you are, the less rehearsal we gonna have, correct? And so that's my process of writing. It's like with Katt, the stuff that I wrote for Katt didn't even use. He ain't use none of that. I would just tell, all you have to do around Katt is go, he'll say something, you go, that's funny. And he'll go, huh. And then that'll be it. But you wasn't writing for Katt.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just, he'll be like, oh, okay. But other people, like I would write stuff depending on how they are. You know what I mean? Like Snoop is a character.
Yes.
You really ain't gotta write a joke for Snoop. You just gotta have Snoop say this in a Snoop way.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then you got gold. You know what I mean? And so that's how it really was. Like writing for all these people. You know, it was like just looking at how they are and having them organize what they should say in the way that they should say it. And yeah, I was always blessed to write for people like that.
Obviously, I had Katt on at the beginning of the year.
Yes, you did.
People still talking about that. It's now at over 76 million views.
Jesus.
And caught a lot of criticism because of things that Katt said. And they said, I should have. I was like, when people come on, I have no idea. It's not like, let's just say for the sake of argument, I was going to interview a political figure. I have the questions. Now, I have also fact-check situation. If they say X, Y, and Z, I would say, well, no, this, blah, 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 blah. If I had the President Trump, or if I had Madam VP Kamala Harris, I could be able to fact-check. But when I'm asking him a question, I don't know what he's going to say.
Exactly. You don't.
So do you believe I bear culpability for what people say on my platform?
Absolutely not. You're providing a platform for people to talk. It's so many. We're in the era right now. I've never seen these many motherfuckers talk in my life. Motherfuckers is talking.
Right.
It's on everything. I mean, everything you turn on, so motherfuckers is talking.
Correct.
So you can't control what these people are saying. You know what I mean? But you did kick some shit off where now everyone's gonna say anything and everything, I think, in order to
try to have that viral moment.
To get that viral moment. And you see it happening. And it's not gonna happen. What y'all had was what I like to call just a moment in time.
Yes.
Like, it was a moment in time.
Yes.
You were just asking questions like you would do. He answered the way that he answered. And the stuff that was the tripped out thing too. The things Katt was saying, that was like, oh shit.
A lot of it he said it before.
He said this shit a gazillion times. I don't know why that shit took off the way it did, because he done said it a gazillion times. With you, I don't know. Everybody just, you know what I mean? But I think maybe he hasn't said it in a while, and that's what happened or whatever. But yeah, I just think the situation is just, I really don't understand that. But I don't think that you're responsible for his answers. That's foolish.
I think a lot of it had to do with is that what he did was peel the scab back, or he peeled the layer back and let you see. Because I didn't know that this many comedians that, I don't like him and he don't like me and he don't like her and blah. I didn't know. I don't think a lot of people, because I think you guys did a great job. I don't know your relationship with all the comedians. I mean, there's so many and so many good ones. Your relationship with those, but I think he peeled a layer back and let people see the underbelly of the workings of how it is in comedy. And everybody ain't buddy. Although, look, we're trying to get everybody to laugh, but.
No, and everybody ain't buddy. I mean, and hasn't been. It's a few comics out there right now that it's just one comic, man. I don't care what I do. This motherfucker got a problem with me every goddamn time. I don't care what it. To the point where I'm like, dude, what is your problem, dude? Why every time I even show up, why do you even think I'm thinking about you?
Yes.
I'm not even thinking about you, but there's issues that comics have, and they have their own reasons. Like. You got comedians now that don't like younger comics because they got it so quick.
Right.
You got older comics that refuse to move out the way, that don't want to accept that, they not keeping it moving no more. They not writing no more. They not doing all this and trying to blame other people. The game has changed. It's a different ball game, but you can't be mad at them. So everybody's mad at everybody for some goddamn reason. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's never going to change. What Katt did, he just put it out there, whether it was true or false. He just put out It
was his truth.
It was his truth. At the end of the day, it's nothing.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Nobody can change that.
Right.
And all you did was ask the question.
Right.
So, no, Katt. And I think Katt knew what he was doing too. I knew Katt knew exactly what he's doing when he came on your show. Because Katt don't do podcasts.
No, he doesn't.
He don't.
He doesn't.
So he knew what he was doing.
I had been trying to line Katt up for over a year.
Yeah.
And Katt doesn't fly. Katt takes the tour bus. And he wasn't going to be on this side of town. Yeah. And I told a story that I went to my lawyer's office on a Friday. And as the door opens up, I'm getting off. There's this young lady about to get on. She's like, "Hey, Shannon, how you doing?" I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "I don't know you." She's like, "You come here?" I said, "Yeah, Marvin is my agent." She said, "I didn't know that. I've never seen you." I said, "Yeah, he's been here for like 3 or 4 years." She said, "It's funny." She said, "Today is my last day." I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, congratulations. I said, "So what if you don't mind me asking, what are you going to do?" She says, "I'm going to be the executive assistant to Katt Williams." I said, "I've been trying to get Katt for over a year." This was a Friday. The following Thursday, Katt sitting in my chair.
Wow, that's crazy.
The following Thursday, we doing the interview. CJ, who was my producer, and I remember when we wrapped the interview, CJ is shaking his head. So I covered my mic. I said, "What?" I was like, "What? Did I say something? Did he say something?" And he's telling me, "It's gonna break the internet. We're hoping to get 10. I said, "You think he'll do 10 million? He's like, "Yeah, he gonna do 10. He said, "Nah, he's gonna do 20. I said, 20 million? I said, I said, "Look, only Joe Rogan is doing sit downs that get 20 million views. Nobody else."
Yeah.
I said, "Come on, CJ." He said, "I'm telling you, Shannon." He said, "This is gonna be talked about all of 24. So we drop it that Wednesday. And I'm looking and I call him. I say, "CJ, do you see how many people are watching in the chat?" He said, "Nah, how many?" I say, 70,000. And then it jumps to 90. Then it jumps to 110. So we get to like 130. I said, "So CJ, how many do you think it's gonna do?" He said, it's gonna be big. I said, "CJ, really?" Look, it got to like, we did 24 million views in like 2 days. And so CJ starts looking. CJ was like, "Okay, the record," I mean, somebody had like, Joe Rogan had 2. He had one at like 40, 50 million, another at like 57, 58 million. I said, "CJ, you think we can get that?" He's like, "Yeah, it's gonna break that." I said, "Come on, CJ." CJ said, "Yeah."
Jeez.
And it did 76 million views in 8 months.
That is crazy.
I never would have imagined it. Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because we like to do something before 2 something.